Hello and welcome to the Frostburg Experience. I'm Ray Sorenson.
And I'm JJ Jones. On today's show, we'll be discussing student and community involvement, residence life, and several local initiatives started in the area.
Later on, Josh Mallow from the Office of Civic Engagement will be in the studio with us. Josh will shine some light on what the office does on FSU's campus as well as in the surrounding area. Later on, David Glenn from Chartwells will be here discussing the relationship between FSU dining and Frostburg Grows.
But first, let's join Jess Vavra in the field with our very own Residence Life Office. With more on the efforts that RLO is doing in the community, here's Jess Vavra.
There are many opportunities for students who have chosen to live on campus to get involved within the town of Frostburg. Part of the Residence Life Office's job is to make sure that residents are able to give back to the community through programs that their hall staff put on.
As a hall director, I advise the hall council, which are volunteer students who want to contribute to the residence halls. With our student leaders being in hall council, it really contributes to the community as a whole because, it's something to look forward to.
Oftentimes, the residents that choose to be a part of hall council will go out of their way to either help their hall staff put on a program or put on a program of their own. Getting residents involved in the community is not only a part of a resident assistant's job, it allows the city to see the on-campus community in a good light, one where students are willing to help out by cleaning, volunteering, or donating within the larger community.
Our resident assistants and residents created a program to allow school children who don't necessarily have the funds to purchase their own supplies or to have an actual backpack to hold all of their material. It gave them something to look forward to when they got to school the next year.
The residents who have shown that they care enough about their home away from home to take part in events such as Beautify the Burg, volunteer at local animal shelters, and give their all into giving back to the community have truly made their mark on the city of Frostburg. As long as the Residence Life Office continues to encourage RAs and residents to be more involved in the Frostburg community, more and more students will be willing to help out and take pride in what Frostburg students can do. For the Frostburg Experience, I'm Jessica Vavra.
Thanks, Jess. These service projects go a long way in our community. After this break, we'll be joined in the studio by Josh Mallow, the Read to Succeed coordinator in the Office of Civic Engagement. But before that, we'd like to give a student shout out to music major Zee Mollen.
I work at the Residence Life Office. I work tech crew at the Lane University Center. I've peer mentored freshman orientation classes in addition to working preview all 4 years. I am a sister of Sigma Alpha Iota, the music fraternity. I'm the beatboxer for Zen Harmonics. And in my downtime, I like to go to the game room and play some pool. And my name is Zee Mollen, and I'm a Frostburg State University student.
Bring out the action hero in you. Fuel up right and get energized. Be part of the greatest action movie ever. The first movie that puts you in the action. Show us how you train and eat like an action hero. Join in at actionheroalliance.com.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans.
These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids.
Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. So is the solution.
Give a gift of meals to a family in need. Visit feedingamerica.org/giveameal today.
My name is Fernanda. I'm the wife of a teacher. Budget cuts affected my husband's salary, so I'm picking up some part-time work. We're doing everything we can to make sure our kids eat today. Tomorrow, I just don't know. Fernanda, how'd I do?
Well, I usually fold the underwear first.
I meant the acting, but good to know.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome back to the show. Joined now by Josh Mallow from the FSU Office of Civic Engagement. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Thank you.
So, I know kind of a big question to start, but could you tell us what the Office of Civic Engagement's mission is?
Sure. So the Office of Civic Engagement is an office that is part of the Department of Student and Community Involvement, and our specific office mission is to foster active citizenship by offering programs that develop personal and social responsibility within our university community by addressing societal needs and social justice issues through service and democratic engagement.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's a lot, but that's a lot of good stuff there.
Of course, yes.
And how did you become involved with the office?
So I became involved when one of my previous professors took the reins at the Center for Literary Arts on Main Street. They are part of the A-Star in Western Maryland AmeriCorps program. And through there, I developed a lot of different skills that then led me to take the coordinator position with Read to Succeed that is in the Office of Civic Engagement. So kind of a lot of events that led to that, but all through A-Star in Western Maryland.
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
Now, I've heard a little bit about some of your programs, but could you just go a little more in-depth into them?
Sure. So there's a variety of different programs that we offer. There's A-Star in Western Maryland, which is the AmeriCorps program that I'm part of. We offer Thanksgiving baskets. We do town hall meetings. We also have it's COAT, which is an opioid awareness program that we have running. We do the alternative spring break program. So the Read to Succeed program that I'm with, that's part of A-Star, does one-on-one mentoring for students in K through 8th grade so that we can provide them with an opportunity to get additional help with math, reading, or general study skills, whatever they happen to need the most in. We also have the town hall meetings I talked about. They are held, and it's just kind of a chance to come and talk about what's going on. There's a topic for each meeting. So it's kind of an open forum type of deal. And we also have there's Beautify the Berg, which comes up in the spring. That's something where we really get involved in the community and really take a hold of projects to make sure that Frostburg is as wonderful as it can be and it looks as wonderful as it truly is.
That's a lot of excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Is there one that's a personal favorite for you?
Probably my personal favorite is Beautify the Berg. That's a chance where a lot of college groups get to go to Main Street and other locations throughout the city and really just clean up and talk with the others that are a part of the community. So this is a wide effort from a lot of different organizations, and all of those organizations build into making this one event successful. And a lot of organizations that aren't college related get to meet the college students that are behind Frostburg State that sometimes doesn't have that great of a rep, but then when they see that these students are out there doing great things, that really kind of changes their viewpoint on what the university is doing.
Yeah, I've actually been to that event a couple of times, and it always is a very productive and engaging experience.
Yes, of course.
So now, while you've been in the Office of Civic Engagement, have you seen a direct impact on community and student relationships because of these events?
Yes, so just kind of how we touched on Beautify the Berg, that's one thing that when people see Frostburg State students out there doing things that aren't just, on that typical Friday or Saturday night, or they're not just wandering around Main Street in the middle of the day. They see them out there helping, supporting, really giving back to what the community needs, which is something that sometimes a lot of people, like I said, don't hear about. So it's relieving, and it's nice to know that we also have other things in the university as well that help to give back to the Frostburg community, as well as communities in the surrounding area, such as Garrett County, Washington County, and Frederick County.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Josh.
Of course. Thank you.
When we come back, we'll learn about a local sustainability effort. But first, here's another student shout-out featuring social work major Ameyu Ayanna.
Hi, I am a social work major, and I am a part of the SGA. I am a off-campus senator. I'm on the board for 2 organizations. I am the vice president of Ethiopian and Eritrean Student Association, and I am the secretary of the Social Work Alliance. I was also voted for Homecoming Queen for the 17-18 school year. My name is Ameyu Ayanna, and I'm a Frostburg State student.
The pain will not control us. It will never break us, define us, or keep us still. Because arthritis can't beat us if we beat it first. In the fight against arthritis, you need a weapon. What's yours? Visit the Arthritis Foundation at fightarthritispain.org.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes out to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. First pitch is fouled between Jackson.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back. We will now join Jess Vavra back in the field to learn more about a staple in the local initiative for sustainability, Frostburg Grows. Stay tuned to hear about how Frostburg Grows has impacted dining services here at FSU.
Frostburg Grows has been a major part of the city of Frostburg since it first gained funding. Located on an old strip mine, the sustainable project has allowed both students and residents of the city to enjoy locally grown food. Let's see what Development Director Dan Fiskus has to say about Frostburg Grows.
So the good news about growing on this old coal mine was that it helped us get the original grant. We got a $300,000 grant from the EPA. And part of that grant proposal was successful because the guy who wrote it was saying we're going to make use of some pretty damaged land. We're going to show innovative reuse of some junky, torn up coal mine land.
It's thanks to that original grant from the Environmental Protection Agency that Frostburg Grows has been producing food for local food banks, small businesses, and Frostburg State University itself. The contract that Frostburg Grows and our campus has allows us to get locally grown food through our dining services. Frostburg Grows has gone through many challenges, one being that the soils on site have always been too toxic to produce the kind of food that the project was intended for. The folks at Frostburg Grows have had to think creatively when it comes to how they grow their food.
The soil we solved by buying it and trucking it in originally. So all of our growing is done in raised beds above the ground. When they made this into a parking lot for FEMA trailers, they flattened it out and they brought in, 6 to 10 inches of gravel. It's actually really good stuff. This limestone gravel is helpful. So we stay above ground and we don't come into contact with the old mine spoils or mine fill.
Getting students involved in the larger community is never easy, but those willing to put in the time at Frostburg Grows have been doing what it takes to make the city a more sustainable place. For the Frostburg Experience, I'm Jessica Vavra.
Thanks for filling us in, Jess. There are a lot of wonderful resources right in our backyard, and this one we can be directly involved in.
Next, we'll be joined in the studio by David Glenn to elaborate on the relationship between our campus and Frostburg Grows. But first, Here's another student shout out featuring mass communication major Matt Cumblidge.
I work in the equipment room on campus. I am the design manager for the Bottom Line newspaper. I have worked with professors on video projects, from filming live events to being a teacher's assistant. My free time, I like to produce music. My name is Matt Cumblidge, and I'm a Frostburg State University student.
Sweetheart, can I give you a hand?
No thanks, Dad. I got it.
Okay. I'm gonna go fix the lamp in your room.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
I know, 2 seconds. Hang on, just stand still. Stand still. One second.
Boys, hang on, boys! You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're gonna be hanging out a little bit more.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
We're back and now joined by David Glenn, Frostburg's Director of Dining Services. David, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us about how FSU Dining and Frostburg Grows developed this initial partnership?
Sure. Several years ago, when we were putting our proposal together for the contract on campus, we looked for some local farms in the area that we could partner with as part of our 10-year contract. And Frostburg Grows, given its relationship with the university, was a no-brainer.
So how does Frostburg Grows and our campus kitchen benefit from one another?
Well, we have kind of a unique partnership where obviously we're purchasing produce that they grow for us locally, with like a couple miles from campus. But we have a system where we're composting all of our food scraps and waste. So we're creating that compost. We're sending it to Frostburg Grows. Frostburg Grows is then growing our produce in the compost that came from the waste from the dining hall. So it really is kind of closing that circle of life as far as growing goes.
Okay. So how long would you say this compost system takes?
Well, the compost system, it's got several parts to it. So we're composting what we call pre-consumer waste, which is like the trimmings of things that we trim in the kitchen, like the tops of a pineapple or the skin of potatoes or something like that. We're also composting the post-consumer waste, which is what comes from our guests, like what's left on the plate. So we take all that, it gets ground up and put through a centrifuge, which takes all or 90% of the moisture out of it. We then take that, we put it into the rocket composter, which is a pretty unique piece of equipment. It's an in-vessel composter. We basically put those scraps in with some wood chips, and it takes about 10 to 14 days for it to move through the composter and come out as usable compost.
Okay. So how would you say students and the community benefits from the sustainable system?
Well, just like with any sustainability effort, we're reducing the amount of waste that's being produced. Instead of it going to a landfill, it's being reused. We're able to grow more produce in the compost that we're creating, and with that, we're supporting the local economy with Frostburg Grows.
Nice.
And I think one of the added benefits is in the growing season, we are getting great fresh produce from right down the street.
So what specialty crops does Frostburg Grows provide for the school?
So every year we meet with the people managing Frostburg Grows, and we work out a schedule. What they can produce the most of, what's most sustainable for them, is what we can use. Due to our high volume of purchases, there's certain things that just make more sense for them to work with us on. So we get a lot of fresh herbs from them. We'll get carrots, onions.
Cherry tomatoes,
which, as I was telling you before, I'm not a big fan of cherry tomatoes, but the ones that we got this summer, they tasted like candy. They were fantastic. So, yeah, in addition to lettuce and greens and regular size like beefsteak tomatoes. So we get a variety of products, but those are the ones that we focus on.
Nice. So do you feel like you've personally taken anything away from working with Frostburg Grows?
I mean, I think what they've been able to do, talk about sustainability and reusing an abandoned site and turn it into something that's producing fresh product for this area, I think is a big takeaway for what they've done.
Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your experience with us.
Thanks for having me.
And that's all for our show for today. Thank you to our in-studio guests Josh Mello and David Glenn for their insights on student community involvement and sustainability efforts at FSU. And also to our field reporters Jess Vavra and James Counselor for their segments. For Ray Sorenson, I'm JJ Jones. Be sure to catch the next episode of the Frostburg Experience.